We're back.
Hey, business pants. Wow, it's been a while.
It's been a really long time since we did this live.
You lost your power. You pretended to have lost your power
I
last week.
I didn't have to pretend. I
I
was
didn't actually.
in the dark
I, I,
with children.
I was gonna go to the website of your local power provider and see if you were lying or not, but then I realized, you know what? I don't feel like working either, so it's a win for everybody. It's August 11th, 2020. We're doing the good game.
I love the good game, and we're gonna bring out some theme music for this that you might recognize. Are you ready? Hopefully you're feeling that because I feel it.
I recognize it.
I love it when that comes on.
All right, I'm gonna get right into it.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's stop messing around. The good game is simple. Well, actually, we missed the week of good games, so I have a few more. I have 60 entries today.
Ouch.
Matt is gonna grade them all from 0 to 10. I'm gonna average the scores, and that's our good index for the week. That's our score, our good game score.
This is intense. We're gonna have
Can
to
you
go
tell?
fast.
Can you tell I'm already half asleep?
I thought that was your normal state.
I think between 8:45 and maybe 10:15, I got a lot going on. I'm full of energy.
But you got to call sign this too because we're doing this on the radio, baby. We're
Oh
live.
shoot! I already ruined it. This is WMPG Gorham Portland. I messed up the one thing I'm supposed to do right at the top of the show. WMPG Gorham Portland.
Everything you've done so far is a disaster. Let's get to the show.
Let's get to it because I want to finish on time. You ready, Matt? Are you ready?
Oh, listen to that music. Of course I'm
yes. Let's start with wars. All the big fun wars. China says it has no intention of becoming another United States. So let's breathe a sigh of relief. We're only going to have one United States. That sounds good to me.
That is good. I like that. Is one too many though?
Oh, that's another question. That's not what the headline's about. What do you think?
I'm going to give this a 6. That sounds quaint.
Starting off with a 6, I'm going to remind the viewers and listeners at home that last week, Matt, the good game came in at 6.2. Ooh. So let's try to beat that.
I'm not trying to beat anything.
We're off to a bad start. Next, the Trump administration unveiled a wild plan to wall off China from the U.S. internet.
Well, there can only be one United States, so we don't want to share.
You wall
internet.
off China, doesn't Amazon just cease to be?
I think China actually tried this with the Mongols. They put up a great wall of internet somewhere.
It worked. I think that worked.
I think it worked. So I'm going to give this a 6. Not a bad plan.
Okay. All right. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, which is good. Most cruises are now canceled until at least November.
That's honestly the best news I've ever heard. Not that I ever took a cruise or would take a cruise, but I feel like no one should take a cruise if they're smart. I did a deep dive. It turns out, so Royal Caribbean, which changed its name very quaintly.
It was Royal Caribbean Cruises. Now it's just Royal Caribbean.
As fooling everybody who now don't know what they do.
It's just a part of the world modified by an adjective.
They announced this blue ribbon health panel, and I went and looked it up, and their one of their chairs is the ex-governor of Utah, because that guy is well qualified to talk about health on a cruise line. In fact, in the
cruise line,
in the video where CEO Richard Fain announces, the panel and brings on said ex-governor Levitt. Levitt says, "I know a lot about apartments, which are a lot like cruises that just don't go anywhere." So I feel confident that this is the right move to shut down cruises, maybe indefinitely. I'm going to give this
just 10. Just in from our crack research department, 0% of cruises leave from Utah.
Yeah.
All right, what do you think? 1 to 10, 0 to 10. What do you think?
I love it. I love every second of it.
You're slowing down the show with your with your able-bodied research there. The world's airlines say they won't recover until 2024. I like this, but is this good news?
Well, that it's going to go beyond that, because do you think any businesses are going to travel the way they used to? Like, it's not going to go back to the way it was.
Don't underestimate the need for a man to stroke his narcissism by flying around the world for 20-minute meetings.
Is that what he's stroking? I'm going to give this 8.
All right, let's go. Let's move on to big data. We have lots of stories here. First one is kind of a mixed.
Wait.
Oh,
You
okay.
need to mute it.
Fine. There's our crack budget at work.
Go ahead.
All right, the first one is a series of stories. Ready?
Yeah,
It's all the same theme. Facebook removes QAnon conspiracy group with 200,000 members. Facebook has cracked down on dozens of fake accounts posing as black supporters for Trump. Sounds like an oxymoron. Twitter has shut down former KKK leader David Duke's account. What do you think about all this?
I mean, I wonder why they all had accounts in the first place. This falls in my reversing stupidity category, in which you've done something stupid for a long time and ignored a problem, and now you're dealing with it. You don't get credit for that. That's like, oh, I've got this giant goiter on my leg, and perhaps I should get it checked out. And then you wait 4 years to check it out. So I'm going to give this a 5, because that's the max you can give.
Well, I will say during a global pandemic, don't waste doctors' time with your goiter, your leg goiter. Okay, Microsoft is in talks to buy social app TikTok. TikTok and Twitter are starting to talk about a possible combination, and Netflix should buy TikTok if Microsoft can't close a deal. So what do you think about all this data
who shouldn't
buying
buy
TikTok?
Oh, why come Facebook isn't in those talks? Everybody's just going to buy TikTok.
I feel like that's the one that no one's going to let happen.
Yeah, you're probably right. No one would let that happen. I think these are all mediocre ideas. I think it's a 5.
What about Free Float Media buying TikTok?
How about TikTok buying Free Float Media?
Yeah, I think that might be the
You think?
easier way out for us. Facebook, Twitter pull down Trump videos claiming kids are immune from COVID-19. That's our president in the United States.
Yeah, but it's Zuckerberg. It's not Facebook.
Yeah.
It's Zuckerberg.
What's up with Zuck? I thought that Facebook didn't. They weren't arbiters of truth. I mean, is Zuck just a big liar? I don't really get Zuck.
Well,
is he an arbiter of truth?
Was it a political ad? Because then he violated his own policies.
How does he run the most powerful country in the world, and yet everything he says just sounds like gobbledygook? It just sounds like a confused nonsense.
It's a masterful stroke. I'm gonna give this. I want to give this a 6.5, mostly because it's unexpected.
That's a 7.
Oh, stop!
We're really going slowly here, just so you know. WhatsApp users can now fact check forwarded message chains. So, okay, Facebook owns WhatsApp, and they have an ability to fact check messages.
And WhatsApp is the one that's end-to-end encrypted. So,
why are they getting everything right with WhatsApp and getting nothing right with anything else?
Well, notice WhatsApp is maybe the most international one, right?
Yeah.
What
do you think?
I'm gonna give this a 5 because I'm confused.
Yeah, and plus, who the hell is fact checking over at Facebook? You trust those morons?
I think Zuck reads it himself.
TikTok to give creators over $2 billion the next 3 years as it takes on Instagram and YouTube.
I mean,
bribing
that's brilliant.
Creator probably is, right?
Bribe your way into everything. I'm bribing you right now just to get here in that hot room.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think that's a 5 because I also don't care about that.
You don't care. CEOs from Apple, Amazon, Google, and Facebook had to defend their companies against what lawmakers called a pattern of monopolistic behavior.
Yeah,
that was now 2 weeks ago.
It was not much of a defense.
Okay.
I mean, like we said,
anything good coming out of that?
Well, Tim Cook feels like the adult in the room. So that felt nice.
You like that?
Did anything else happen? Anything? Did
you
anyone
know,
care? Did anyone even
no.
blink?
Well, the way the news works these days is that does anybody care is probably the thing to ask about everything.
It's 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, and we've already forgotten. I give it a 4.
Yeah, Amazon's already folded since then. They declared bankruptcy.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, we missed that. TikTok's new CEO says company will reveal how its algorithms work.
Is that
You like
sexy
that?
Kevin Mayer?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kev Doll.
Kev Doll coming in hot. I like algorithms. I'll give that a 7.
Facebook adds $100 million to landmark facial recognition settlement payout.
Oh, good. Paying out for doing something stupid. That's a 3. I wonder how much of that is tax deductible.
All right, I don't want you to waste a lot of time on this one, but Kramer from CNBC. I hate saying Kramer, not referring to Seinfeld. Cheers Apple's 4-for-1 stock split decision. Apple cares about the little guy. We don't talk a lot about stock splits, and I don't really want you to do it today. But is it good that Apple split its stock?
I feel like if Jim Cramer said it's good, it probably isn't that good. But
Okay. I hope Jim's. I mean, I know Jim is listening, so I hope he.
You suspect that he's listening.
I hope he calls.
I'm not sure about this.
You're not sure if Jim is listening or the stocks.
I'm gonna give Jim Cramer a 6.
All right, okay. Let's move on to dystopia. Android is now the world's largest earthquake detection network. Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, but you know how?
No, tell me quickly.
They detect the rattling in your pocket and send that information to
Is that
Google.
true? Is that a lie?
No, that's how they do it. They have gyroscopes in the machines. And
So if the quarters in my pocket are rubbing against my phone, is that what you mean?
I think it has to be a little more coordinated than that. If Damien's quarters are rubbing against the Android and your neighbors are not, I think they know it's not an earthquake. It's you by yourself in a room.
Well, you're all wrong, because if you knew me, you'd know that I don't carry quarters in my pocket because the constant jangling drives me crazy.
You just showed us all. This is a 2.
All right, okay, let's move on. The first app using Apple and Google's COVID-19 contact tracing tech in the U.S. is about to launch.
I
don't know what you're doing.
I just wanted you to feel the music.
What do you think about this contact tracing tech app? No one uses this, right? This is all nonsense.
I don't know. Yeah, we've effectively outsourced everything that the U.S. government is supposed to do. So do they need more information? Look, the contact tracing is necessary. It's about time we did something.
But is it gonna? Is anyone gonna use it? Is it mandatory?
I'm gonna give it a 5 until we see what it
actually
looks like.
5 is your way of saying let's move on. A new Senate bill would ban corporations from using facial recognition without people's explicit consent.
Why are we stopping at facial recognition? Can we just agree that having my data without my consent, without me paying me for it, is a ban? I like that. I'm going to give it a 7.
All right, the big gig.
Woo!
Bunch of stories from Uber this week. Uber announces employees can work from home through June 2021, giving them $500 for their home office.
Oh, nice, because Facebook
would
make sure that you're in your home office or they'll fire you. They said that.
I would buy a air conditioner that converts into a heater.
Ooh.
So that's what I would.
Is that a thing?
No. All right, what do you think about this?
I like this.
You like something that Uber's doing? That's crazy.
Well, I assume they're going to send this to all of their employees, incling the drivers who have.
Oh, that's where it gets tricky.
Right? Gets a little tricky there.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this a 6 because the idea is good, but they're going to botch it.
Stay with Uber. The Uber CEO Dara says gig economy companies should be required to establish benefits funds for workers instead of treating them as full-time employees.
Oh, sounds a lot like a full-time employee when you're. It's called FICA in this country. It's where you pay Social Security and Medicare, Medicaid. You pay taxes.
Sorry, but the more they fight this, the more they just seem like a devil to me.
It just seems stupid at some point. Like, just stop it. Just make them employees. But then it's not the gig economy, so then they can't use that phrase. This is a 3. This is one of the dumber ideas of the day.
Yeah, but Dara, we don't live in a country that has a social safety net, so you're just treating these people like dirt. All right. Uber and Lyft drivers are employees, according to a California court. So it's getting confusing.
Oh, well, good thing they have that benefits fund that they can tap when they need
Where's
it.
this going to end? I mean, is Supreme Court? Is that heading up to the Supreme Court?
Yeah, eventually eventually Uber gets sued out of existence and Lyft along with it. That's
right.
what happens.
Well, I what Uber and Lyft are both waiting for are for driverless cars. So I don't know if they're going to get there.
True.
So maybe we should be waiting in the dark with our own app that comes out right when driverless cars drop. You want to do that?
I love all your ideas. TikTok, when you buy us, that's what you'll get also.
All right. So what do you think?
8.
And finally, Uber has a new training requirement for drivers following widespread complaints of rape and harassment on its service. Drivers will have to sit through 6 online videos, and this is 8 months after they released their report detailing the number of murders and sexual assaults against drivers and passengers.
You know what stops someone from sexually harassing someone else? Online videos.
6 videos?
That's usually all it takes. In fact,
yeah,
we can get rid of every sex offender in the world. Just give them the Uber 6 videos. I mean, come on.
I hope they feel a little bit ashamed that it took them 8 months to launch these videos.
Or that, like, they think the Khan Academy can teach you not to be a sexual harasser.
All right, what do you think?
I think this is a 1.
Yeah, it sounds like not enough. All right, let's go to Inside the Pants. Let's go quickly through these. Simon Cowell broke his back falling from a motorbike, not an electric bike. This is good for the environment, right? Because if it was an electric bike, that would have been it. ESG would have been killed.
But you're making me rate some guy breaking his back. That's
all right. Just do it.
5.
Okay. Let's go. Come on. Let's go through these. Africa's first electric bus plant will industrialize Uganda while fighting pollution.
7.
Stranded assets risk rising with climate action and $40 oil. I wanted you to spend more time on this, but then I'm realizing I don't want to hear what you think about it. So maybe we can save this for another show. What do you think?
I love it when you stroke my ego that way. I think that
eventually I want to talk about stranded assets,
look,
but not today.
It's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. I think this is a 6.
All right, because we got a clock problem. Argonne National Lab breakthrough turns carbon dioxide into ethanol. Holy crap, that sounds good to me.
Is the ethanol drinkable?
What is that your thing about life? You want to drink everything?
It's not usually my baseline. I don't even drink. I'm just saying that's how you can monetize it. That's great. 7.
BP wants to become the world's largest renewables producer, but still pump a lot of oil.
Oh, those two things don't live together, right, BP? Let's go with the 4 because 2050 is a long ways away.
Global coal power falls for first time, even as China builds more.
Yeah, but the China builds more means it's only a temporary thing. So let's go with 3.
That sucks. Alphabet sells largest corporate ESG bond at record low yield. None of that makes sense to me, but is that good?
They actually combined a green bond and a social bond. And the record low yields just mean that Alphabet has lots of money and they're not worried about it. I think this is interesting, but I don't know the details of the bond. So I'm going to give it a 5.
Clorox names Linda Rendell as its next CEO, bringing the number of Fortune 500 women leaders to a record 38.
Ooh, wait, of the Fortune 100, right? 38%.
No, that's Fortune 500. If you're
whoops.
not sickened by this, then go slam your head in a doorway.
Good advice.
Okay.
This is a 2. This is ridiculous that we have to celebrate 7%.
Well, I'm going to celebrate it. Dutch city drafts plan to reduce asphalt and plant trees to combat effects of climate change.
That's a nice plan. I bet you they get it done before 2050. I'll give that a 7.
Yeah, I'm sick of asphalt. I'm bored of it already. In the first half of 2020, for the first time, Europe generated more electricity from renewable sources than from fossil fuels, and electricity is proving cheaper in countries that have more renewables. This is a win-win-win-win-win, right?
10.
10. Okay, good. Let's keep it going. Let's catch up here. It would take $30 billion a year to prevent future pandemics. That's it. That's a lot less than COVID-19 is costing us. Only $30 billion a year.
Yeah.
That's great news, isn't it?
I'm sorry, but the future pandemic is climate change, which is going to cost us like $1 trillion a year at this rate. So,
that means all we have to do is shake Zuck over like a plastic laundry basket, and we can cure global pandemics. This is exciting.
We can take the quarters out of your pocket and throw it into that fund.
Exactly. What do you think?
I think this is nice. I think it's a 6, but I'm worried
All right,
about the next
all right.
thing.
Stop talking. Germany is banning single-use plastic straws, cotton buds, and food containers. I don't know what cotton buds are, but whatever.
It's earbuds. Like
earbuds?
Earwax. You clean them out.
Yeah, I don't know. Is this good? Does anybody care anymore?
Hey, someone's got to do something. Germany's a pretty big someone, so let's give this a 7.
And finally, Hyundai is creating its own dedicated battery electric brand called Ioniq and wants to sell 1 million electric vehicles by 2025.
That's sooner than 2050.
It is.
I give it a 6 because I don't care that much.
All right, apology tour and a story that we covered extensively here. The CEO of Hannah Anderson is stepping down after employees criticized the brand's lack of diversity. Remember, this is the guy who said he was going to go to war with one of his employees who pointed out the company's lack of diversity. And that CEO is gone now.
It was an ex-employee, I think. It wasn't even a current employee. So I would call that a win for Hannah Anderson, right?
I call it a win for the world. If you want to Google this story and read more about this CEO, you're gonna feel happy that this guy's gone.
It does feel good. I give that a 7.
And I'll call you in 3 weeks when he's the CEO of something else. Steve Easterbrook, the former CEO of McDonald's, could lose up to $57 million as McDonald's claims the ex-CEO lied about multiple affairs with employees. Is this a win for somebody?
Foreshadow alert. It's a win for no one. McDonald's basically botched the investigation, and the McDonald's board is literally it's Boeing 2.0. It's half of it's Boeing, half of it's Caterpillar. I don't know what's going on there. We're going to find out tomorrow. This does not feel good to me. This feels very crony. So I'm going to give this a 5 because I'm glad that they're clawing back, but it's a mess.
All right, we got about 7 minutes left. Do you think we can do this? We got like 20 to go. What do you think?
No, there's no way.
Putin. This is the blowhard index. Putin claims Russia has registered the world's first coronavirus vaccine, says his daughter has taken it.
Oh, well, Scott Gottlieb, who is on the Blue Ribbon panel for Royal Caribbean, who was the ex-FDA chief under Trump, said don't take it. So coming out strong against the Russian vaccine. I don't know what to think. I'm going to say 5 because if it works, great. But it's in Russia's hands. If it doesn't work, great. It's in Russia's hands.
Yeah. If we start to see his daughter like floating above Russia because her head is expanding, maybe we shouldn't take it.
I think Willy Wonka's from Russia.
Hate oil companies. We get it, says BP CEO. He gets it. He gets why people hate oil companies.
Did he bump his chest when he did it too? I'm with you. I'm with you, bro.
Is this good news for the future?
I don't know what that is for the future. That feels like deep fake meat to me rather than blowhards. I'll give it a 4.
Remember, this is a guy named Looney.
Yeah, it's true.
Bernard Looney. Finally, celebrities in rich neighborhoods won't stop hosting massive mansion parties. I threw this one in here because, mansion parties sounds like great news.
Yeah, but They might. I just read that the most expensive coronavirus mask of all time was sold recently to a businessman in China for over $1 million. It's like diamond encrusted
Oh,
coronavirus mask. So they may be having these parties, but they are bedazzled in avoiding coronavirus. Can I one? I'll give this a one.
all right. Deep fake meat, bunch of stories. Beyond Meat's U.S. grocery sales nearly triple. Walmart now sells the Impossible Burger.
We've jumped the shark. 7.
We did? Okay. Tyson Foods. We talked about them. They're out of control, giving their employees coronavirus. They got a new CEO, so someone's actually taking the fall for this.
Oh, well, did they replace all of management or just the CEO? Because this is some crazy.
We should
stuff.
let's put Tyson Foods on our list for a deeper dive. Have we done Tyson Foods?
Yeah, no, we haven't, and it's a mess. I'm gonna give that a 2.
All right. Manhattan apartment deals plunge 57%. Suburban real estate surges.
Yes, tell that to my appraiser. I'm glad people need green stuff. Get out in the suburbs, get to the country. It's better there. 7.
Honestly, I don't have the phone number of your appraiser. Flights to nowhere give homebound Taiwanese a taste of travel. That's right. They're buying tickets to nowhere. They just fly around and they come home. Idiots. I'm sorry. What do you think? 0 to 10?
Oh, well, I've now been influenced by your thoughts. So that's a 0.
Yeah, just buy a beanbag and shut your mouth. All right. New report shows historic drop in credit card debt amid the coronavirus pandemic.
Tell that to my credit card. Do you have that my credit card's number?
Yeah, that I have.
Amazon must not like that at all, but that's great. 7.
My credit card bill has gone down, thank God. Where am I? More than 1 million people in the UK have quit smoking since the start of the pandemic.
7.
That's only a 7? Jesus.
Who am I to tell people to quit smoking? It's good for your health, but it's not my job.
Yeah. They were actually smoking broccoli.
Yeah, it's possible.
New York Times CEO Mark Thompson says he expects the end of the physical newspaper in 20 years.
20?
Do we care about that?
Does anybody read the physical newspaper anymore?
My mom does.
Okay, so that's one subscription. I'll give it a 6.
All right, let's go. Robinhood reports more monthly trades than rivals Charles Schwab, E-Trade combined.
Yeah, that's not good. That's a 1.
Amazon looks to convert JCPenney and Sears stores and malls into distribution centers.
Of course, Amazon's getting into brick and mortar. The world is backwards. It's 2020. Let's go with a 1.
The question is, will I be able to wander through and find a bathroom?
No.
Masks may be causing a blow to lipstick sales, but eye makeup sales are booming.
That has got to be the headline of 2020.
Yeah, I should have thought of that. I mean, of course. What do you think?
That's amazing. I want. That's a 10. Look, everyone who's wearing eye makeup, your eyes are beautiful. You don't need makeup, but it's fun.
All right, 2 CEO stories. The TVA board to review CEO compensation after Trump says the utility pays too much.
What?
Is this a win for somebody? A win for stakeholders?
The utility pays too much.
Yeah. Just give it a number. Just say 5.
5.
Norwegian Cruise Line CEO is astonished that people are still booking cruises.
I am too. Wow. Right.
That's got to be a 10, right?
Yeah.
10 for honesty, at least.
That's a 7.
All right. Okay. I couldn't influence you. All right. Finally, in stakeholders rule, we have 37 seconds left. Blizzard workers share salaries in revolt over wage disparities. This is my dream, Matt. I always wanted to see a scroll of all of the MSCI worker salaries. That was my dream.
I love every second of this. That's a 10.
Share your salaries. Come on, let's shame each other. You know what? This next one, I'm going to skip this one. Screw this one. This is boring. Bernie proposes one-time tax that would cost Jeff Bezos $43 billion, Elon Musk $28 billion. What do you think about Bernie?
I mean, I guess.
Come on. Come on.
5?
Elon Musk gives SpaceX employees the day off after a successful week of missions.
Oh, congratulations. Thank you. Oh, just so nice of you. Now get back to work. It's I give this a 4.
Yeah, what about a check? There's only 8,000 SpaceX employees. What about a check?
What about 27 billion that Bernie's going to take from you? Just give it away.
Democrats introduced a new bill that would require the Fed to close racial employment and wage gaps because I guess the companies aren't going to do it. What do you think about this?
Are they requiring the Fed to do that for companies or in the Fed?
That's a question I can't answer, mostly because I want to wrap this show up. What do you think?
I think it's a 3. That's frightening to me that it's that bad.
Snapchat hopes their new features will make it easier for Gen Z to vote.
Nothing says voting like Snapchat, where you have no right to vote for the CEO.
True, I didn't even think about that. Didn't even think about that.
As ironic as I can think of. That's a 3.
Now let's call that one awkward. Shareholder complaints seek to hold directors liable for lack of diversity.
Oh, this is good. This is the rebuttal to the George Floyd. This is an 8.
Yeah, do your jobs, directors. Don't just eat combos and Twizzlers. All right. 3 more left. It's time to implement a 4-day work week, Andrew Yang says.
I like Andrew Yang. I agree with him. I only work 4 days a week when I can. I think this is a 7.
Irish citizens win case to force government action on climate change.
And it took citizens suing their own government to do something about climate change. Good. 6.
And finally, in our good game for August 11, 2020, Hearst magazine staffers have voted to form a union.
Ooh, next headline reads, Hearst magazine declares bankruptcy. But I will give that a 5 because I don't care.
Oh, that's a sad way to end the show. All right. Matt, you were depressed this week. This is your lowest score since the first week of the game, 5.37.
Wow, a ripping 5. I'm rounding down.
That was Business Pants. You are listening to WMPG Portland Gorham. That's all I got to say. See you later, man.
I'll see you next week, Damien.